Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good night, wherever you may be across this great globe of ours. My name is Peter. It's Mob Guppy. I'm here enjoying not the nectar of the gods because I've got to go and pick some up. I am having, though, an amazing Ozarka water. Ozarka, well, if they paid me, it'd be the official water of this episode of Mob Guppy, where the Guppy is the mob. So how you doing? Busy day here. It's besides being my birthday, this is also a day to go in. I got an upgraded cell phone yesterday that I had to set up myself. And yeah, it was a pain in the neck. Now, here's what I got. I got one of the fold, one of the fold up ones. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's, I think I have to figure out if anybody has one of those, let me know. And because I'm interested. I got the Samsung Flip 4. Flip 4, everybody. So there you go. Let's see here. I'm Samsung Flip. The Flip 4. Let's see here. They have a cover for that? Oh, yeah, they do. Ooh, military grade kickstand cover. Look at that sucker. Oh, yeah, that's nice. And yeah, strong. Well, it's shipped from California. Oh, there you go. It's nice. See, that's what I do here. I'm getting myself a Christmas gift. Or not a Christmas gift, a birthday gift, but probably will arrive around Christmas time. So there you go. There you go all the way around. What else is going on, gang? Hey, Doug Gray is in the house. How you doing? Sadly, the laundry just finished. Hey, thank you very much, Doug. I'm having a great birthday. It's I have not opened up my gifts yet. I did open up a card from my sister's mother-in-law, which was very nice. And my sister sent a gift, but there's supposed to be more gifts that come, and the second box is coming. And I swung by the thing, and Logan, Ambist Aquatics. No e-card from Kim Jong-un. None. I feel bad. Not even from his sister. So there you go. So what I have going on is that lots of stuff going on around here. Been playing and working with doing stuff with the fish, with the puppy, with everything. It's been nice and busy. So yeah, good times. Good times had by all. I've been working on a couple of different crosses. Obviously, the California Reds have sort of taken off popularity, and I like the way they look better. So I am going to be taking the other crosses I've been working on, which, and again, you work on a cross, and Doug, you know more about this than anything else. At some point, you just sit there going, yeah, it's just not going to be what I was hoping it would be. So I'm going to be taking those to my neighborhood LFSs. Let nice people come to know and love them. They're pretty. They're colorful. They're just not Nothing I feel good about putting on Aquabit or on Get Gills or any of the other ones. So there you go. So let's see what other little instances do I know. Just been, yeah, it's just been fall has been real busy at work. We've been working on something, and it essentially is turning my day into a 13-hour day every day. So I am it wraps up Thursday. Thank you. So I'm excited about that ending, even though it was very cool to be involved with. Yeah, and I have been busy with Giselle. All right, I have a funny story for you. So, I'm relatively newly divorced. This year, I've sort of put myself out there to start dating, and I've hung out with a gal a couple of times. Doug saw a picture of this gal and I together. Doug can let you know whether he thinks she's pretty or not, but I think pretty attractive. And she's 22 years younger than me. What's the problem? I don't see one. So we're out hanging out this week, and then she lets me know I'm older than her parents. Her parents were like 18 years old when she was born. Wow. It's so there you go. There you go. It's by the way, the only person who can send an e-card in North Korea is Kim Jong Un. And normally, if it goes to another North Korean, it means they're just about to be executed. I have been writing notes to Giselle Bunchkin, passing on greetings. Yeah, it's crown tail, crow tail. Yeah, they may think of it looks like a scarecrow because I'm not a big fan of the crown tail guppies. Not my thing. You may love them. That's great. Not my thing. It's I like either the swords or I like the delta tails. I'm not big into the other tails. So there you go, a little helpful hint. Yeah, a little misspelling. And I'll tell you what, of the 3 LFSs in my area, 2 of them are just fine, are really cool. One of them, they're okay, they're fine. It's, I swear to you, you walk in and they say, "What are you buying from us today?" I don't know about you guys. Sometimes I drop in on the LFS and I'm there to do one thing and one thing only: take a gander at the fish. That's what I do. Yeah, I'll tell you what, this uh I have a theory, by the way, about Tom Brady and Giselle Bunchkin's divorce. The reason he went back to football was because he and Giselle had already decided to divorce at that point. They have a lot to negotiate through. They have a lot of property. She's worth more money than he is. So, plus the kids, plus all that sort of stuff. And so my belief is he, in his 11 days off during training camp was mediation. I bet you they were meeting with a mediator. They were talking about stuff it was in Costa Rica. So they flew the mediator down to Costa Rica. They banged out all the details of the divorce. The divorce was filed privately, and then they got divorced. And that's why he's playing football. It's not going that well. It's like the old fighter, the old boxer who comes back past his prime, And, age cannot stop us from doing things in our life. At some point when you're a quarterback, a professional basketball player, we're beginning to see that with LeBron James too. There's a time where you begin to, go on from there. It's called time. It's a thing. Let's see what else is going on with the fish. I don't know, just having fun. They're doing well. They're looking good. It couldn't be a better time to be somebody who has aquariums. And I'm ready for winter. I don't know about you guys. It's easier to focus in on the fish more in the middle of winter. Because you're not going out, you're just, it's, and, unless you're married and you have to, being a single guy, you're not going out that much. I'm walking the dog. And I'm taking care of that. Ooh, Wawa. And by the way, for those of you outside of Pennsylvania, some areas of New Jersey, I think in Delaware, right? There's a Wawa, which is fantastic. It's not, and if you've not been to a Buc-ee's, Buc-ee's is a Texas thing. Florida has them now as well. It's Florida, or Texas has Buc-ee's, and they're beginning to go out. If you have never been to Buc-ee's, 100 gas pumps, and you could technically put your food on the concrete next to them, and it's cleaner than most restaurants you've ever been into. It's unfreaking believable. Heck of a week. It's Mick Mars retired. He with Motley Crue, the guitar player. John 5 is taking his place for the crew. Mick Mars has had health issues due to, and Chewy, welcome. He has a degenerative disease he's been fighting for years and years and years. And apparently while they're out on tour, it all of a sudden became too much for him. Tomorrow could be a real bad day. Huh. Well, my day, I have not had a day like with a naked guy showing up in my house wielding a hammer at me. That's strong. I haven't had that. Oh, Brazil elections. Depends how it goes. Doug and I are single. We could meet a nice Brazilian lady. Could be the best thing ever. Best thing ever. Yes, I agree. Oh, thank you very much, Chewy. I'll check it out. Yeah, so today is not a landmark birthday for me. That comes up in a few years. But yeah. Yeah, some good times. Project Plaba could suffer depending on the elections. Yeah. It's my favorite thing going on in Brazil right now is the impending recovery of the Spix macaw. So there you go. It could be Vikings fever. If the Vikings win tomorrow, 6-1. Holy capoly. Who are my heroes playing? Who are my heroes playing? Okay. Yeah, I mean, talk about good. Oh, hold on. I'm getting my thing for my cell phone here because I do multiple things. And all right. All right. Spent $9.99 for my birthday. That's the way it should be. And I should get it by Saturday. Life's good. Need to get a cover for the new phone. I'll bring it out again. I got one of these. This is the Samsung Z Flip 4. So there you go. It's got an orchid on it. Yeah, it's kind of fancy. Yeah, I kind of like it. My other phone was beginning not to work as well. So 3.5 years old. So there you go. There you go. So that was my birthday present to myself. And good times. Good times. It, and by the way, for our fish hobbyists are looking to save natural places for the fish that we know and love, especially in the tropical fish hobby, but really any fish or any animal worldwide, is that the one thing people forget about is that human activity um, has an effect on the environment. In the United States, we've been trying to adjust what Europe has been up to with fossil fuel use, trying to get more alternative energies in. I'm in favor of it, no problem with it. But we are scaling back the amount of oil we produce in our country. And here's the problem with that. And it's not a political thing. This is just the facts of the matter. Is that us not pumping our own oil is not better for the environment. It just isn't. It's we're just shipping oil from Mexico, other areas of South America, the Middle East, etc. And so there you go. Um, and as the government goes in, some of our states like New Jersey and California, it's not that long from now, 13 years from now, you won't be able to buy a gasoline car, a new gas car. You won't be able to buy it. Unavailable. And essentially what it will be, as of right now, and by the way, my next car will be a plug-in hybrid. I like them. Is it practical? No. Is this something I could afford? Yes. Can a lot of people afford one of those? No. Am I virtue signaling if I get one? No. I just like new technology, and I'm sure as heck not getting it in the next couple of years. I'm not paying 15% interest on a car or 12% or wherever we're going to be paying. Anybody purchasing a car, 2 years ago, when there was uh low interest rates and there were a lot of cars around, people were paying 5% for interest on a car. So there you go. Yeah, Doug, and by the way, I don't have a problem. One of my neighbors has a Tesla. It's really cool. It is really, really cool. Um, I just don't see myself paying $70,000 for a car. It's just, there are better ways for me to spend money. Like fish. I'd rather spend money on fish stuff. I'd rather spend money on, doing things that I like to do. It and by the way, so again, it's the effects on the environment, by the way. If you look to northern Africa, where they're doing strip mines, uh, primarily owned by companies controlled by the communist Chinese government, they're doing strip mines to get the minerals out of the ground to make to go out and make uh, the batteries. Well, that has a terrible effect. Strip mining is a terrible way to go. It's a terrible effect on the environment. And that's, and so the virtue signaling in this is just way over the top. I have an electric car. I'm better than you. No, you're not. In fact, I read a news story, and I can't remember where, but it was, was not from some crazy. It could have been Newsweek, it could have been Time, Wall Street Journal, wherever. And this is a few years ago. Do you know how many miles you need to put on your Prius before you quote unquote begin to see a net benefit to the environment? About 70,000 miles, because it uses gas, and the amount of fossil fuels it takes and carbon put into the environment to create the batteries for a Prius, you become positive at about 70,000 miles in. Good times. Good times. And by the way, water can be, it's and we have to, and I will also say this. If the government does amazing and wonderful things, they build roads, they do all these different things that go through. The one thing that the government does not do well outside of the military is bring in new technology and also pick winners in the future. They just don't. The best idea is that there's somebody in their garage, somebody doing R&D for a corporation like 3M or something like this, or somebody at MIT who's playing around with something is going to come up with a better way for us to power vehicles, power our homes, that's clean, efficient, and easy to go through. And that day is coming. And it will be something totally, we may have ideas of what it's going to be, but I guarantee you somebody's going to do an innovation. And what that innovation is, I'm not an engineer, but I certainly know. Yeah, David Childress will create it. David Childress can do anything. Yeah, so that's sort of my deal. Sort of my deal there. So, by the way, with the new phone, I ordered the cover. I have a grand total of till Friday or Saturday to keep this thing from breaking. By the way, the worst place to get a safety cover for your new cell phone is at the cell phone store. You will pay like quadruple the prices for it. So there you go. I paid $10 for something that would cost me $40 at the cell phone store. And by the way, I have Sprint is my cell phone company. They got bought out by T-Mobile. Apparently, I can't buy my cell phone at the T-Mobile store. I have to buy it online from Sprint. So there you go. So I'm in day 2 of 24 months of enjoyment with that phone. Yeah. Doug, I did too. Yeah, don't Dahmer Chrysler, yes. Yeah, the problem with a lot of the EVs is the cost of the batteries. Just it. But again, as people who care about fish, there are people in our hobby, and that are out there trying to save fish that are endangered, not in the wild, and it's pretty doggone cool. Yeah, not to do with confused with Jeffrey Dahmer Chrysler, which made meat products. And I'll tell you what, their mystery meat at Jeffrey Dahmer Chrysler, you don't want to know what's in the mystery meat. You don't want to know. Not good. Biggies, what's up, brother? Lumpy Dog. Farmer Vince's sausage? You don't know what's in sausage. I don't know the Farmer Vincent reference. There you go. Yeah. Human activity, no matter how quote unquote green it is. Oh, from the movie Motel Hell. Excellent. Uh, well, hey, whenever you can come, it's all good with me. So, a little helpful hint for those of you playing along with us at home. Uh, humanity, no matter how green you think the activity is, it's not. It has an effect on the environment. Now, humanity's goal should be this. And a lot of communities are doing this. I know in Texas, in the San Antonio area, where when there's a new housing development, it is required they put green space in between the homes. So it's 30, 50 feet between between the backs of different homes, so there's a green space for the wildlife. Pretty good idea. Yeah, that's the problem, Lumpy Dog. It's pretty expensive. But I know people who have Priuses and they last a real long time. So unless you're a cabbie, New York cabbies were using them for a while. It didn't work out well. Yeah. But most of the green energy that we get is stored energy. Now, um, in the US, uh, they passed legislation this year that if you're a homeowner, you can put solar on your home. And I had lunch yesterday with my realtor because he's a friend and go from there. And, and there's going to be big write offs on it. And I said, I understand if I put it in, there's no, quote unquote, uh, that there's no, that it doesn't help my home's value. He goes, nope, not at all. And he goes, every home sale that I've had with solar has been an utter pain in the neck because the people who bought the solar and put it on their homes, which is $30,000, $40,000 solar panels, and you're at $250,000 home, they think it adds $250,000 to their home's value. It does not. So there you go. Oh, they did with Ford as well. Chrysler, obviously. Yeah, good times. Man, water is amazing. Correct. Or a real nice kitchen in a house. So I was in California working when the housing crisis was beginning. It really didn't hit till 2008, but it began to hit in the Bay Area 2007. And a buddy of mine that I worked with, his sister was a real good realtor in the Bay Area. And she said, uh, that, she was going through and somebody had refied their home. They bought their home like in the mid 90s for like $140,000. And the house, went up in value, spiked up to over a half million. So they did a refi, taking most of that money out. And yeah, they did fun stuff with the money. They went on a nice vacation. They went to they went on a nice vacation. They bought 2 new vehicles, on the thing. And then did a $70,000 kitchen. All the realtor buddy said, "Yeah, you're just making your house much more attractive to sell." Thank you very much, John. Yeah, fish room adds thousands to the value of the home. I'm guessing the realtor say, "Yeah, when can you get rid of the fish?" I'm sure that's the first thing out of their mouth. Oh, your father met Henry Ford. Uh, had kind of a checkered past in World War II. It He and the Hitler feller openly admired each other. So there you go, a little history. There you go. Sort of hoping today. I'm sort of hoping today we will get the wonders of some sun outside. As of right now, uh, as of this particular moment, it is cloudy and in the 50s here. And it'd be nice if the sun came out for a bit. Warm up, warm up these ever aging bones. It's 62 here in Joplin, Mo. And I'm taking a look at the radar real quick. Sort of looks like, and it kind of feels like rain. But I haven't seen any. So I'm looking at the radar now. Yeah, looks like we're gonna get a little bit around, maybe. Yeah, it looks like we'll get some rain late this afternoon and early this evening. And so that's nice. We had rain already this week. I meant to, expand the drought. Expand the drought. I'm pro drought. Hey, Melvin! How are you doing, buddy? How are you doing? Thank you very much for the kind wishes. Yeah, my it's snap those fingers twice. Yeah, like Thanos. Maggie, hush. That's Maggie is she's been a little energetic today. My fish tanks aquatics, how you doing? Thank you very much. So how am I spending my birthday? Hanging out with you guys. What can it get any better than that? I don't think so. It's yeah, it no, we have to just come up with a better source, but as of right now we don't have it. Let's see what else can I share with you. Yeah, it's just watching the fish go in. By the way, the California Reds, holy capoli. I am going to have a bunch available probably right after the beginning of the year. I've got a bunch right now. So it's I can sell right now like 2 more trios, and then I have to wait a little bit. Just wait for a fish to grow up. I don't want to get into getting rid of too many of them because I'm setting them up as breeders. Well, again, Chewy, the idea about the environment is it's an ever-changing thing. It in a blink of an eye in the history of our solar system and the planet Earth, we were at a place where 25,000 years ago we were in the middle of the ice age, and technically we've been on a warming pattern ever since. So there you go. No water for 110 days in British Columbia, water shortage, heavy melting. Yeah, it's we've had a drought here in Joplin, Mo. We had a real wet May, and then it was dry as heck. In fact, the farmers here, they did not get their crops in till a little late because of how wet it was. And then it was dry, and earlier this week we had a 2-day of a soaker rain. It'll rain again tonight. What's tomorrow's deal? I think tomorrow it's going to be dry again. We're going to be dry for a couple of days. Yeah, tomorrow the rain sort of tapers off early in the morning, like 8 or 9, so mid-morning. And I don't think we're going to get much rain. We're just going to get a little, it's going to get a soaker. I'm pro soakers. Yeah, I know a lot about the spotted owl. That was a huge issue in the United States, like 25 years ago in the Pacific Northwest and, from California up. It, old growth forests, it's, having a balance in the environment, pretty good deal. Pretty good deal all the way around. Nice. Yeah, it's the ivory-billed woodpecker. You can do some YouTube stuff on that. There are some people who say, "Oh, I found one. It's a pileated woodpecker." Uh, but there have been a couple of shots by actual scientists, pictures, done by actual scientists. But yeah. So there you go. California condor reintroduction. It's there you go. It and just remember this: when you hear politicians use the term climate change, I'm going to tell you something that I have learned, and I think that we should all be paying attention to. Climate change is a reality, has been a fact. It's been a fact from the beginning of the earth. Our earth is constantly going in. And our climate is much more complex than people say. You'll hear from people say, well, you pump all these fossil fuels into the air. It's the lone source of climate change. Well, that's not necessarily true. Does it have an effect on climate change? Of course, it probably does. But our climate is affected by plate tectonics, solar flares, the sun. We have no understanding of very little. We also are, our atmosphere. Our atmosphere could be going down a little bit. We don't, again, it's a much more complicated thing. And when you hear politicians want to change stuff, it's not that good of a thing. Better just stay away from it. And just do that. It's a much stronger deal. So that's a helpful hint, for me on this, is that in fact, if you look at the history, frequently you'll hear people say that politics and religion don't mix, and there's a lot of truth to that. I'm not here to argue that. But if you look historically at politics and science, those are two things that do not mix at all. They do not mix. That it's a terrible thing to be associated with. Yeah, it's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all, because we don't know. It's the deal is that science is that it's the scientific method. The scientific method is that where you can repeat, you can go out and repeat the activity over and over again. For instance, if I drop an apple, like my wallet right here, I can drop that over and over again. And if I had a speed gun on it, I bet you the speed would be exactly the same. It's repeatable. You can determine it. And obviously that's very simple. There's much more complex things that are repeatable over and over and over again. Climate change is a theory. It's as far as human activity involved with it, I think that anybody with a scientific mind would say, of course, it has something to do with it. But again, you tell me how we can go out and confirm something that happened 10 years, 100 years ago, 150 years ago. Our way of looking at it is looking at the rings and trees. Okay, that's great. Yeah, it's been getting warmer. We can tell. But we don't know why. So there you go. Well, methane is one piece of it. Yeah, the amount of things that affect our environment is a very complex. It's all of a sudden this part, plate tectonics, volcanic eruptions can handle the environment, can pump more chlorofluorocarbons into our environment, into our atmosphere than anything else. So whenever you hear the term settled science for something that isn't settled, yeah, it's not good. Yeah. Physics, biology, chemistry, all involved. Yep. Multidimensional. It's to point at one activity is not good. And here's the other thing that I don't think people realize is that it's forest fires. Before in the last what 5 6 decades, when there was a forest fire back in the day, and there was before there was a lot of man in an area, etc. There was nothing there to stop it. It burned till it burned out. And then everything grew back. And trees, pretty important for the environment, everybody. So is the ocean, so is it's everything. So there you go. But I will say this is that we should all do what we can to protect our natural resources, to do what we can just to be a good citizen. Golden rule stuff. Yeah. Hey. Sorry, Bob, but I don't think you're a simple man. I think you're a pretty smart guy and a heck of an Elvis impersonator. Bob Kaler, everybody in the house. So there you go. So yeah, we're solving all the problems in this world, my friends. We're solving it. And by the way, also a little thing about science. Okay. Law of gravity will always work. It's a scientific law. First and second law of thermodynamics. There's certain laws, scientific laws. Then there's theories. And as smart as we think we are as humanity, if humanity has one issue, you can go back to the pharaohs, you can go back to you can go look at Genghis Khan, and you can look at all the big empires. The truth of it is, they thought they were the smartest things in the world too. We're just not that smart. I wish we were. I wish we were as smart as we believe we are. I just don't see it. I would show you my out my front door, but I'm charging my camera. Charging the camera. And you have to pull out a battery. One of them I only have to do about every 2-3 months. So there you go. So as you can see, one of them is offline. That's the one that has the pretty good pictures. So yeah, good times. Pretty good times all the way around. All right, gang, I got to do some errands and get ready for my birthday celebration. Thank you very much. I am 53 years old today. So it's so reasonably ancient, not that yet. Again, I feel like I have more energy today than I have had in a long time. So thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you. And have a wonderful day.